Cronus, having taken the throne as the new ruler of the world, ushered in what mortals would later call the Golden Age. The earth bore fruit without effort. The seas were calm. All living things moved in harmony. Yet behind the radiance was a fear he could never shake. A curse hurled at him by his father, Uranus. You too will be overthrown by your own child. Those words festered like a thorn buried deep in his heart. So every time his wife Rhea became pregnant, Cronus grew restless and sleepless, pacing through the night. When each child was born, Cronus would step forward with a cold, hardened expression. Rhea's voice trembled. Please, at least let me hold him for a moment. Cronus' eyes were the eyes of a beast consumed by terror. No, I will not let that prophecy come true. And the next second, the infants, Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, and Poseidon, were swallowed whole, their mothers' cries echoing in the chamber. Rhea's grief slowly froze into something hollow and lifeless. She knew the sixth child must be saved. Rhea fled to the island of Crete, clinging to the last glimmer of hope. In a cave on Mount Dicte, she gave birth to her youngest child, Zeus. Forgive me, my son, she whispered through tears as she entrusted him to the nymphs of the forest. Gaia, the Earth Mother, came to her aid once more and showed her how to deceive Cronus. Rhea wrapped a stone in swaddling cloth and presented it to him. Cronus squinted suspiciously, then tossed the infant into his mouth without a second thought. The real Zeus grew up hidden in the mountain cave. Outside, the Curetes, warriors clad in bronze, beat their shields and clashed their spears, shouting at the top of their lungs to drown out the baby's cries. Zeus grew up listening to the wind in the rocks, the roar of the sea, and his mother's final words to him. One day, you must free your siblings. You must end this. When Zeus reached manhood, power surged through him like living thunder. He returned to Rhea, his voice steady but burning. Mother, what he swallowed was not his children, it was your heart, again and again. Rhea held back her tears. It is time. She gave Cronus a potion that would force him to vomit. Cronus doubled over, clutching his chest as the earth trembled beneath him. And then, one by one, the gods he had devoured, Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, and Poseidon, were expelled from his body, emerging to stand behind Zeus. Cronus clutched his throat, roaring, his voice splitting the sky. Zeus, how dare you betray your father and king? Zeus met his gaze. No, I am taking back what you stole. The rift between the old gods and the new had been torn open. Word spread across the world. On the peak of Mount Titan, Cronus stood gripping his sickle, rage howling through his voice like a storm. My children dared defy me? His roar shook the entire mountain. Among the 12 Titans, Oceanus kept silent. Crius frowned grimly, and the fierce and thunderous Atlas knelt immediately. Father, give me the order and I will hold up the entire sky to wage war for you. Cronus pointed toward distant Olympus. There lies the nest of traitors. Let them witness the full might of the Titans. The other Titans raised their weapons and roared in fury. The earth rumbled like an ancient dragon waking from its slumber. The wrath of the Titan King had finally ignited. Zeus knew he and his siblings were not yet strong enough. He led Poseidon and Hades deep underground, descending into the sunless abyss of Tartarus. Chains clattered in the dark. Dust spiraled in the stale air. From the shadows, pairs of enormous, tormented eyes opened. The 100-handed giants, the Centimanes, and the mighty Cyclopes. The giants roared in rage. The Titans imprisoned us here. Have you come to torment us as well? Zeus lifted his torch, his face lit by a fierce resolve. "No, I'm here to set you free. And if we free you, will you fight beside us?" For a long moment, the ancient giants were silent. Then, the chains shattered. 100 arms slammed the earth at once, shaking Tartarus like thunder. A cyclops seized a boulder, glaring fiercely. "If you bring us back into the light, then we will forge the greatest gifts for you." That day, 3 divine weapons were born: Zeus' thunderbolt, Poseidon's trident, Hades' helm of invisibility. Zeus raised his thunderbolt high, its light filling the underworld. For the first time, the new gods truly held the power to change the world. The sky above Mount Titan darkened, clouds splitting like torn wounds. Zeus struck first. Lightning ripped across the heavens and smashed into Cronus' shield, hurling him backward. Poseidon swept his trident, summoning waves that rose like living monsters crashing onto the battlefield. The Titans countered. Atlas heaved an entire mountainside into the air and hurled it like a catapult stone at Zeus and the giants. The ground split open, smoke blanketing the sky. Hades donned his helm, dissolving into shadow. He slipped behind Titan lines unseen, snapping chains and piercing armor like a hunter born from darkness. The 100-handed giants launched torrents of boulders, each one falling like a meteor, shaking the earth with every strike. The Cyclopes forged bolt after bolt of lightning, and Zeus caught each one, his power growing fiercer with every spark. For 10 long years, the world shattered and reformed again and again beneath the weight of war. Until one day, Zeus lifted a final thunderbolt blazing like a newborn sun. "For my siblings. For freedom." The bolt struck. Its light tore through the Titan army. Cronus fell, his sickle spinning from his grasp. Atlas dropped to his knees. The other Titans were forced down, one after another. The age of the Titans collapsed in a single breath. Cronus and the rebel Titans were cast into Tartarus. When the dark gates slammed shut, the world fell silent for the first time. After the battle, Zeus and his siblings stood atop Mount Olympus, exhausted yet triumphant. The wind swept gently across the peak. Zeus spoke softly. "From this day on, fear will no longer rule the world." He looked toward the open sky. "The age of Olympus begins now."